Right, let's talk to Lisa Minot, travel editor at The Sun, though, because we had a breaking story a little while ago. Just Stop Oil strike Heathrow Airport. The protesters, amongst them Phoebe Plummer. You remember her? She was the one that was last week found guilty of criminal damage after throwing soup over Vincent van Gogh's painting Sunflowers at the National Gallery. She's going to be sentenced in October. Sorry, she's going to be sentenced, I think, in September, I regret to say. So she's going to be around all summer, wreaking havoc, but she's supposed to be expecting a jail sentence, so let's hope so. Apparently one of the activists shouted, "Refuse to die for fossil fuels." Dear, oh dear. Lisa, very good morning to you.
Morning.
So, in addition to all the other nastiness that we have to face trying to get from here to there by various different means, strikes, you know, Heathrow getting closed down, you know, closing the airspace over Paris for the opening of the Olympics. We've now got Just Stop Oil, yesterday at Gatwick, today at Heathrow. I mean, they're not really causing too much of a problem, but it's not helping, really, is it?
It's just a really ridiculous inconvenience, isn't it? I mean, people are just trying to get away on their holidays.
Yes.
And these are not people who are flying business class hundreds of times a year. These are guys who've saved up for a whole year, for a week or two in the sun. And that's what really, I think, stresses me out about this. You know, if you want to actually make a point about people who are travelling in business class, it's very obviously environmentally much worse than travelling in budget economy. But, you know, these are people just trying to get away on holiday. And also this is something that, you know, we knew was going to happen. We saw the protest yesterday in Gatwick. They've tried to scale the fences at Heathrow before, and this is happening across Europe as well. So it's not just, it's coordinated action across Europe. And I just feel really sorry for holidaymakers just trying to get away.
Yeah, they did Frankfurt the other day, didn't they? Which kind of led to about 40 flights not going anywhere, and therefore planes in all the wrong places. But, I mean, all the other problems that we've had over the summer with air traffic control, how's that going?
Well, that has actually got slightly better. We're not seeing anywhere near as many cancellations as we did have. European air traffic control were suffering from quite severe staffing shortages. They seem to have worked that out to a degree.
Okay.
We're still seeing some flights being cancelled, but nowhere near as many. So, again, this is just yet another thing that people are going to have to deal with. Yesterday, we watched them literally stepping over the protesters.
Oh, yeah.
And this today will have very little impact. But, of course, someone's going to have to clean all that up.
Right.
And it's not going to be those protesters. It's going to be somebody on a minimum wage who's going to have to stand there and clean all of that orange paint up.
Right. And also, a lot of people were saying yesterday, I was among them, I mean, our airports used to be areas where national security was of some concern. You know, how are they able to protest at these airports?
Well, because it is a public place. I mean, there are new measures in place to make sure that anyone who does create a disturbance at an airport can be dealt with quite harshly. But obviously, this is a place that millions of people are travelling through on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So you can't make it that difficult to get in and out of. The scenes you're seeing here, these are just the entryways into the airport that they're actually attacking. So they haven't actually got into the airport.
They've got their orange spray out as well, by the looks of it.
Yes.
Brilliant.
They have, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, it's going to be somebody on a minimum wage, a cleaner, who's going to be having to deal with that, and not the protesters themselves. They will be, I'm sure, arrested very quickly. There are new powers in place to make sure that they are not going to be able to disrupt the public infrastructure, which is what an airport is called. But it's still very frustrating for people who are just trying to get away on holiday.
I know. Mind you, they don't have to go anywhere, because the hottest day of the year today, they could just go down to the local park and sunbathe, couldn't they?
Exactly that. And do you know what? This is really good for British tourism, because we've had a bit of a rough summer up until now. So anyone seeing this lovely weather, hopefully that's the point where we're going to start actually getting away and enjoying our own beautiful countryside and coast as well.
Indeed. Great stuff. Good to see you, Lisa. Thank you very much indeed. Lisa Minot, travel editor at The Sun.